Your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Bora the Lucky Libra. Thank you for tuning to another episode. As you can see by the title, we're gonna be starting up the Mars through the sign series. All right, so we're gonna be kicking it off with Mars through Aries. All right, for the most part. Before we get into that, just want to let you guys know I now have a Patreon. So if you're interested in collective readings every month, live stream Q&As, astrology classes once a month. If this is something that you feel like you want to get into, go ahead and check out my Patreon. See if one of my tiers is something that you're interested in. All right, family? So let's get right into it. Mars through Aries. All right, so first of all, what is Mars? All right, Mars is our passions. Mars is our willpower. Mars is our charge. Mars is how we take our actions, all right? Mars represents our intentions overall, how we set our intentions, okay? So when we look at the Mars energy, it's not a compromising energy. It wants to set its personal intentions and dive right into those things without any distractions, without having to relate these things to anybody, all right? It just wants to go do what it wants to do. Mars doesn't go over or above or around. It goes right through, okay? We nickname it the god of war, all right? So when we talk about Mars, this is a very fiery, intentional energy, okay? Wherever you have Mars at, this is an area of life where it's an area of life, whatever house you have Mars in, it's an area of life you're already real passionate about, all right? Now, Aries, okay, cardinal fire ruled by Mars, okay? So Mars is home in Aries. Now, when we talk about cardinal fire, this is creating and initiating a new way to see and feel, all right? And then Aries is ruled by Mars. So they're passionate about having their own way to see and feel. They dive right into taking action to how they see and feel and the things that they set personal intentions in, all right? And they don't want to compromise these things. So when we have Mars in Aries, Mars is home here. It's comfortable. Whenever a planet is home, it's comfortable to do what it wants to do. Now, Aries is the birth sign. Aries is the first sign. All right? This is the head. Rules the head. The pioneer. All right? So when you put Mars here, Mars loves to be here because it's in a state where it could just push out its raw energy. It could just express its raw intent, its raw way of seeing and feeling about things. It's direct and blunt with it. It's pinpointed. It's aggressive. All right. So a person that has Mars in Aries, you're gonna have a person that it may be hard to get them to compromise and see things from your way sometimes if they're feeling, if they already got a set feeling on a personal intention. These people honor their personal priorities, their personal goals, their personal passions, their personal intentions. They honor these shits. All right. Mars is our motivation. Aries is the self-assertive sign, all right? It's the self-intent sign. So when you put Mars here, you have a person that's real passionate about accomplishing personal goals. You have a person that don't need to be motivated. They're the motivator. And they don't have to be a motivator by how they express it. They just by their temperament, how they do things. These people are real individual. Everything relating to Aries energy gonna deal with individuality, your self-intent, your personal outlook, all right? So, when you throw Mars in here, Mars is also picks up on our feelings. So the moon picks up on our feelings. You feel me? The moon picks up on our feelings. The moon governs our emotional state. But when the moon gets our feelings, picks up on feelings, Mars and Venus are like filtering these feelings. Venus is picking up on what you like, what you love, what you find pleasures in, what you want to support, all right, what you want to connect to. Mars is picking up more on like your passions, all right, what you don't like, what frustrates you, what may make you angry, all right. So these are like the filtering energies. When you're angry, frustrated, you in some Mars energy, all right. Now, when you put Mars here, once again, this is somebody that don't need to be self-motivated, all right. Now, not saying a Mars and Aries person can't be lazy. Not saying that, but I'm gonna tell you this about the Mars and Aries person. 9 out of 10 times, regardless if they're lazy or if they're workhorses, they have their own personal outlook and personal intent in what they want to do. All right, and they're not. This is another thing about Mars and Aries. They're not bent on explaining that to us. Mars and Aries ain't bent on explaining shit to us. They don't see the need to explain to us a next man, next woman, what they about to act on, what they about to do. They set their intentions and get it done. They don't want extra energy on top of their shit. A lot of Mars and Aries people could play out lone wolf energies. They could play out energies where you know, they're not. See, you would think because Aries is fire and you put Mars, which is such a passionate tool, a passionate star, a passionate energy, and putting it in its home stay in Aries, you would think this would be a super expressive person. But Mars and Aries, you might have a person that might not say shit. Might not say shit, because when we think about our intentions are internal. All right, our intentions are internal. And when Mars come here, it loves to be here because it's the self sign, so it don't need to relate to nobody about shit. So this is a great place to have your Mars in. All right. So, you know, when Mars is just dialed in on what it's doing, it's like you're not gonna be able to. It's damn near impossible to shift this person off their personal ways of seeing things, of their personal ways of feeling about things. But because their intentions run so deep, because they honor their personal intentions so much, it'll bring a state of vulnerability to just put these things out in the open. They want to keep these things to themselves. All right. Mars and Aries people be feeling like people only they be feeling misunderstood anyways. So it's like there's no motivation to tell you anything about what they got going on. Mars and Aries people feel misunderstood anyways because they're naturally so raw with their individuality in a world where you're forced to relate. So they deal with having to be the oddball in situations because their individuality, their ways of just not correlating their intentions and actions to everybody else make them stand out sometimes, and it can make them quote unquote stand out in a negative way. Now we all need to learn individuality in this realm. Everybody needs to learn that. But Mars and Aries people need to learn the opposite. They need to learn when to relate. You guys need to learn when to compromise. You guys need to learn when to say you're wrong. Because you got that, you could have that that first birth energy is strong with Mars and Aries. It's strong. All right. You look at Mars and Aries people. You guys psychologically look at the way you take actions and the way your approach is towards your goals, your passions, career endeavors, or whatever. Mars and Aries people, cause Mars is in the first sign, it's like Mars is not backed and supported by no like experiences or wisdom from elsewhere. It's straight off the jump. It's like a baby is just off raw action and emotion. So this can be intimidating to others. This can build insecurities to other people because they may feel like that they're not as individual, as motivated, as not giving a fuckish as Mars and Aries people can be. All right, Mars and Aries people do not give a fuck. And this goes down to that goes down into that's levels to that. Is levels to how a Mars and Aries person don't give a fuck. Like, you cannot force them to care about something that they don't care about, and they're not even in a state of trying to, like, you better hope they got like some air alignments in their sun and moon or something, Mars and Aries, because it's like, better hope they have some Pisces alignments of sun and their sun and moon. I don't know, because it's just like, once again, Mars is, we picking up on feelings here. We're dealing with passion here now. Okay? We're dealing with passion here now. So it's like, whatever you bring to them, for them to want to correlate their actions or set intentions on, it's like, it would have to be some golden shit. Some shit that super motivates them or super correlates to what they're already personally into. If not, they're already really passionate and dived into their own personal outlook at things. So it's like, Mars and Aries, these people just know how to be channeled into their personal priorities, their examples, individuality to others. All right. Mars and Aries people don't feel like they need any examples. This could be positive and negative, but this is why they end up moving in a godly state a lot of the time. This is why they end up, you know, having so many experiences or situations that other people can't correlate, because they chose to just go through that shit head first. They chose to just set the intention and not study how other people did things and whatnot. Like, they got that type of bravery. All right. So in a way, I said it could be positive and negative, but that shit really positive. That shit really positive, because life is about going through your experiences. It's saying fuck fear, fuck this and that, what's gonna happen. Like, let me just act, experience, see the results, and repeat. Act, see the results, you know, experience, and you know, gain some awareness, gain some wisdom from that cycle. So people that stay in the head too much, or people that stay in the planning stages too much, or the proofreading stages too much, they don't get to see the results of things. So when you have a Mars and Aries person, they getting from point A to B off they stumbles because they just don't give a fuck, and they just gonna go and do. Just do it. Mars and Aries. When it comes to the people that's in their personal circle, Mars and Aries, they deal with vulnerability when you mess with them. They deal with vulnerability when you mess with the people in their personal circle, because they're not even really relatable people. Like, they don't go out their way to make friends. These people don't even they damn near go out, they damn near don't go out their way to make motherfucking to date. A lot of Mars and Aries people, like, relationships kind of fell into y'all life. Like, met somebody who's kicking with them, and y'all whatever started like making out, then that turned into a relationship. Or somebody approached the Mars and Aries person. Mars and Aries person was a little vulnerable. And it was like, yo, who you? Like, relax. Like, then that turned into a relationship. Or the Mars and Aries person was really solo dolo, and then end up having that one opposite sex friend in middle school or some shit. Just like that turned into like, so it's different. Like, Mars and Aries, they don't go out their way for things dealing with groups and relationships. They're way too focused and dialed in on their personal priorities and issues. They're way too passionate about these things, about getting from point A to B and seeing these things. All right. They motivated and inspiring their goddamn self. So yeah, like, Mars and Aries people, they don't feel like they need other examples, or, you know, like, it's crazy. It's like they're so raw with it, literally raw, like pioneer. Like, they're so raw with it. It's like like an Aries person could go into a Mars and Aries person could go into a situation where they do have experience in something they did already, and they'll still do it like it's their first time, off of raw intent, off of freestyle like energy. Like, because it's just, everything is like dealing with newness and not like, all right, Aries is just the go, is the go sign. Mars is the go energy, is the go tool. So when you put Mars here, it's like, nothing about Aries is dealing with logic. Nothing about Aries is dealing with logic, y'all. Keep that in mind. Nothing about Aries is dealing with no time, with like pacing yourself, with growth. Like, we dealing with fire, passion, intent, creativity. You don't think about creativity. You let it flow. So Mars and Aries people, they let their intentions and passions and raw feelings and expressions flow with a real personal coded aura on it. So it's like they not even a lot of y'all Mars and Aries people, like I said, y'all gotta learn to relate. Y'all don't even be thinking about how what y'all say, express, or do kind of be rubbing off how it affect people around y'all sometimes. But back to the point I was trying to make. With Mars and Aries, when you mess with people in their personal circle, that go deep, because since they not going out their way to create any relationships or like friendships or associate themselves with people or be a part of organizations or groups, since they not going out their way, a lot of the times if they in any type of these situations, they really the leaders, or it manifested in different ways. But since they not going out their way, the people that are in their circle, they like these people is like it's they deal with vulnerability when something's wrong with these people. Mars and Aries people, a lot of y'all had to deal with like anger management when y'all was young. Some of y'all still see red a lot and shit when y'all get mad. See that red quick, or just black out. See that, like, so like it's like these people, Mars and Aries people, it don't even matter what they creatively into. There's gonna be some passion behind that shit. This shit gonna come off a little aggressive with this. And I'm not saying that if it's a singer, she gonna sing aggressive, but I bet you her lyrics, I bet you the message or the intent behind the song gonna have some type of passionate, single-minded perspective on how she's looking at something, and how she a passionate way of feeling about a personal perspective about something in some type of shape or form. It's gonna come back to some type of personal, individual, passionate outlook on something. So yeah, man, Mars and Aries people, they be on go. They don't got time for bullshit. They'll let you know they don't got time for bullshit. All right. They'll express it. They'll let you know they don't got time for it. You're going to see by their temperament they don't got time for it. Once again, because they honor their intentions so much, they keep that shit to themselves. They don't feel like expressing it or having everybody to know it. So you're going to pick up on the fact that, like, damn, this person don't be like, this person ain't fucking around. Like, you're going to pick that up. All right, with Mars and Aries. Could be hard to love y'all and relate to y'all a little bit. All right. But yeah, but the people y'all date and the people that date Mars and Aries people or end up in relationships to them, you know, end up being a super, it's like these people are dependable. Mars and Aries people could be dependable, because it's like, once again, if you in a circle and they fuck with you, then that's what it is. Like, they honor that because they look at it as, if they personally needed you, they are showing up the way that they would expect you to show up in a way. Like, the shit deep with Mars and Aries. It's like, it's deep. It's deep because they like hold you to a personal perspective of themselves in a way. All right? Like, they only could really have people in their circle that reflect them. And this is subconscious for them. And this is how you should naturally want your circle. And if you have certain habits and you don't really want, take a look at your circle. All right, but you should be around people that have the qualities or the thoughts or the you know, are in a frequency vibration that you would like to you know, connect to and relate to. Mars and Aries people don't waste their time with any of these situations. They just detach, dub, and go about their business. Like, they ain't wasting their time trying to correlate any of that shit. All right, so you Mars and Aries people, we know Aries that's opposite from that Venus Libra energy and everything. So it's like, y'all gonna have to learn, relate a little bit, and learn to compromise here and there, and also keep in mind how sometimes how your passions and self-intent and self-priorities and goals affect the people around you that care about you, that you relate to. All right, you want to keep that in mind. So Mars and Aries, that's capping off Mars through the through the signs. Next, we picking up with Mars and Taurus. Once again, family, I want to go ahead and check out my Patreon. All right, link is in the description. All right, visit my website for readings if you're trying to book your boy. Until next time, family, you already know the vibes. Peace. Alright, family, I forgot to get into some celebrities, some names we may all know that got Mars and Aries. Alright, so we got Angelina Jolie, Steve Jobs, alright, Prince, Russell Crowe, Kourtney Kardashian, Tyra Banks, Clint Eastwood. You're a funny guy. Bernie Sanders. Alright, ASAP Rocky, Conor McGregor, Iggy Azalea. Get one more in there, one more in there, one more in there, one more in there. Zoe Kravitz. Alright, family? So I just wanted to make sure we get some of them names in there. Until next time, family. Peace.